Welcome, everybody, to the United States of America podcast. I'm Neethi Bali, and I'm your host, and we're broadcasting live here from the Food Church on North Carolina. And I am so excited to be able to introduce you guys again to Chad Morgan. Chad, welcome for joining me today. I'm real excited about us being able to discuss all the wonderful work you're doing out there on Idaho. Welcome. Oh,
Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Thanks for having me back. Happy to be here and help.
Well, for anybody who missed, my conversation with Chad, go back and check it out because Chad is an unincorporated plumber, and he's running a private enterprise on Idaho. And it's unincorporated. It is fully 100% American, and it's really important for everyone to know that the Americans are back, right, Chad?
Right, we are back, and it's
We're
up
back.
to put this together the American way.
Yeah, we Americans were usurped at the time of the Civil War, which actually wasn't a proper war. It hasn't earned the right to be even labeled as a war. It didn't follow any law of war, right?
There was never any formal declaration of war by our American Congress, and there was no official peace process following the Civil War. The Civil War was a mercenary conflict, and it's been misrepresented to the Americans as a war, and that's not what it was. So
right. It was fully an incorporated war. It was a war between when they talk about the Confederation, this is our American subcontractor who was working under our one of our constitutions, and they were having a corporate war in international waters about cotton.
right.
This was a corporate war, as have been all the wars since then. They've all been corporate mercenary conflicts, and they're mercenary.
Right.
And what we need is for all our American sons and daughters to know that you are being used as cheap mercenaries. And this is fraud on its face.
Right. All of our National Guard members have been unknowingly and undisclosed to them being used as cheap commercial mercenaries. They would make a lot better money by going to work for a private corporation as a mercenary and probably make $250,000 a year doing the exact same thing they do for the military working, but they're just cheap paid mercenaries. And
Right.
a lot of them are waking up to this fact too. Especially the ones who are refusing or opposed to going to fight another commercial mercenary conflict over in Iran. Just so everybody knows, our American government is vehemently opposed to this war in Iran. Iran is a sovereign nation. They have every right to do whatever it is they want to do.
Right. And we object to this 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. We are not in support of this. We're also not in support of carpet bombing Israel or any of these places over Palestine over and over and over again. We're not interested in any of that.
Right. Right.
Mm-mm. And we're excited about the Africans coming back to life and finding their sovereignty and knowing who they are and remembering. This is the great remembrance, friends.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a hunger and a thirst out there from everybody for the truth. And that's what we're doing with the Assemblies and the Federation and Anna. She is spreading truth and light on all the darkness and lies that we've been fed for generations, hundreds of years. So we invite everybody who wants to know the truth to join your assembly. Start listening to Grandma. She's talking, and you need to be listening.
That's right, 100%. Because, you know, like we say, this is the great remembrance. That's what we're here for. If you start at episode 1 of this podcast, then you can hear what Anna's talking about for up to 99 episodes. Okay. Listen to what she's saying. And then now I'm shifting gears a little bit, and we're focusing on what can you do right now? What is an action step that you can do to actually empower yourself? Because look, guys, we Americans are formidable. We are dangerous. But why are we dangerous? Because we're formidable, because we're the thinkers.
Right.
We're the ones that are thinking, and we are the ones that are knowing. We're not the believers. We're the knowers of the truth. And, you know, it's been said that, you know, when you operate in truth, then you will be prosperous. When you operate in lies and immorality, because lies align with immorality and the truth aligns with morality. Okay. And this is fully objective. This is not relative. It's not my truth and your truth. You know, it is just the truth. Okay.
The truth. Yeah.
Just like you can see this flag back here, it is just what it is. It might look different if you go that way a little bit. It might look a little more different when you go that way, but it still stays the same. Right? It's still the peace flag. This is our American peace flag. It's the peace flag because all the stripes are going up and down because all the men are at peace. The blood is running up and down. They're not bleeding. And we operate in peace, which is represented by the white. And we do actually operate in commerce, which is the blue stars. So we are fully operational. We are back.
Right.
So we've been called back into session, and we're here teaching everyone how to reconstruct the government that was usurped by Abraham Lincoln, y'all. Because what he did was he did free the slaves, the black slaves that they want to talk about all the time. And then he enslaved everyone under the birth certificate fraud. Now that's a different conversation. We're not going to get into that today. We've talked about it already. Go back to the beginning of the podcast, okay? And just watch each one like a documentary. But today, what we're doing now is I've been calling all men for a long time, Chad. I've been calling all men because the men are the enforcement. Right. And there's only men and women, okay, y'all? On the living, men and women. There's only men and women. And we need each other, and we all honor each other. We work together.
Right.
We're not at war with each other either, just for the record.
No. It's the corporations that are at war with each other, not the living men and women.
The dead corporate fictions.
Yep.
They're just paper. Yep. We don't even have funerals for them, Chad, do we?
No.
We just burn them. It's okay.
Yeah.
What we want to talk. Okay, so Chad has done a very courageous thing, and I wanted him to come and share with everyone, and all the other men out there, all you men out there, because America was built on skilled tradesmen. Okay. And skilled tradesmen are all we need for us to be able to be as prosperous as we can be, because the skilled tradesmen are the ones who are the doers. They're the ones who are the builders, the creators, and they're supported by all of the artisans. I mean, the artisans are the skilled tradesmen. You know, what are skilled tradesmen? They are the artisans. They're the ones cooking. They're the ones digging. They're the ones plumbing. They're the ones building. we wouldn't have these flags without skilled tradesmen.
Right. Right. So I guess what I've set out to do by unincorporating my business is to provide documents to U.S. citizens and corporations who I would normally do business with. I was incorporated at one point, and the things that they ask you for if you are incorporated or you have a limited liability LLC or a sole proprietorship, they're going to ask you for certain things. They're going to ask you for general liability policy, insurance. They're going to ask you for a W-9, and they're going to ask you for workman's comp. Those are typically the three main things that they're going to ask you for so you can do business with them in their jurisdiction, right? Well, we operate as Americans outside of that jurisdiction. We are foreign. We're Americans. We are 100% foreign with respect to these corporate entities, okay? We're not subject to those codes and statutes and those rules. But in the process of doing this, we have to create a bridge or a gap for these people who've been brainwashed into this system, okay? And so the documents that I've shared with you on the last episode that we did are intended to create kind of a bridge, that gap, to provide them information and knowledge as to who we are and how we operate as Americans, okay? So I don't know, Niti, where you want to start. If you want to start with the attestation of domicile or the certificate of indemnification or my membership. Those are the three things that I have.
I have everything pulled up, and I will follow your lead. You asked for it, and I'll put it up on the screen.
Okay. Well, let's start with the membership first, and I'll read the membership, and we'll read the membership here. So we are a plumbing company, and we primarily provide plumbing service to people, okay? So before I do anything, I'll show up at a customer's house, and before I do anything, that customer needs to read the membership agreement and the affirmation. Now, I'll read this membership really quick, and they have to circle whether they're a man or a woman on the membership. You'll see that there's a place for them to print their name. The first one is they print their name, and then at the bottom, their byline with their autograph. They can autograph and then circle whether they're a man or a woman there at the bottom. So it reads, the Idaho Falls Plumbing Company is a private membership club for those of mankind only. This has been created to share knowledge of plumbing and to receive plumbing service assistance. The Idaho Falls Plumbing Company is hosted by a man, Chad Robert, and provides a lifetime membership. This lifetime membership is free, providing exclusive access to a range of knowledge, property, and time. All activities through or within the Idaho Falls Plumbing Company will occur within the domain only. Your autograph confirms your acceptance to this membership agreement. The membership agreement includes the following: Idaho Falls Plumbing Company laws and affirmation. Okay, and so you print your name there, circle whether you're a man or woman. Mm-hmm. So the name of the man or woman who's joining the membership, enter into this agreement of my own free will. I choose to establish this agreement between I and the man, Chad Robert. I agree to be responsible for my own actions and for the consequences of how I apply any of the knowledge I gain here. I attest that my actions on this and any subsequent visit to this club or to any event or place provided within the Idle Falls Plumbing Company, including electronic communications, are by I in my own right and private capacity as a man/woman, and not as an agent or representative for any governmental or non-governmental agency or organization whose purpose is to enforce a legal code or act or statute where no man or woman has been harmed, or to carry out any mission or entrapment or investigation. I understand that this will be considered to be trespass by way of barratry, and that I will become immediately liable to pay compensation under this agreement in the amount of $100,000 plus $100 a minute, the trespass continues.
Can we stop right there?
Yeah.
Friends, by being unincorporated, first of all, by Chad being a declared American, what he did was he unincorporated himself, because we all were incorporated and we were trafficked. We were human trafficked into the water and air jurisdictions at birth. Okay. Well, on our born day, we weren't birthed because we're not ships. Okay. But on our born day, when our mom and dad, when our mother and father were coerced under duress, because our moms were in labor, they were patients in the hospital, right? When you're in the hospital for some type of medical service, which is like, delivering your baby, then you actually are not to be signing any contract at all. And you aren't supposed to be able to do that for 30 or 45 days after you leave the hospital. It's like 30 or 45 days. You're not allowed to do any type of contracting.
Yeah.
It's unlawful and illegal as well. Okay. And there's a difference between being lawful and legal, friends. All right. So I just wanted to, for all the YouTube people out there, I want them to know that if you want to deregulate your business, and I know all you folks who are being regulated know exactly what I mean. If you want to be deregulated, like if you're a farmer, if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, if you want to be deregulated, you must unincorporate. As long as you are incorporated, you fall under the corporate veil and you are agreeing to allow yourself to be regulated. But in order to do
all codes and statutes. Yeah.
Right. In order to do that, you have to first unincorporate yourself by correcting your status, because they unlawfully and illegally trafficked you into a water and air jurisdiction under which you have been named to be, incorporated, and that you're being managed by the corporatocracy, who believes that you are perhaps dead or lost at sea. And so if you are alive, then you got to go, whoa, I'm right here. I am here. And you must correct your status, come back to the land and soil. And once you have declared yourself as a living man, now this is not just for Americans. It can be anywhere on earth, on the land and soil. You can declare that you're alive. Okay. But Americans, we have a different kind of sovereignty that we'll get into that a little bit later. I just wanted to really quickly state that what Chad's done right here is he is doing a couple of things. One, he is making the man or woman who he's going to do business with responsible for themselves. And he's going to be responsible for himself, because that's how living men operate.
Right.
Man to man.
Okay, we'll finish this. I understand that any claims of wrong and or trespass under this agreement shall be governed by the law and may be pressed in a court of law and by and between those of mankind only. I agree to act according to the law and with goodwill, and not to engage in abusive, violent, menacing, destructive, or harassing behavior towards any other man or woman who does participate in the Idaho Falls Plumbing Company Club, lest my membership be dismissed and access to all time by or through the club cease. I agree to autograph this agreement without coercion in exchange for access to the benefits offered by or through the Idaho Falls Plumbing Company Club, and do acknowledge that I have read and understand and agree to the laws of the Idaho Falls Plumbing Club. Okay, so basically what this is doing is it makes the person responsible for their actions, and it makes me responsible, and they agree. It basically brings them into the land jurisdiction. We have our own courts. If there's a trespass or harm caused, they can settle it by law in our lawful land and soil jurisdiction courts. It doesn't mean that they don't have a way for remedy. There is remedy. There's a process for this, but it's in a different jurisdiction. So basically, by them autographing this and printing their name, acknowledging that they're a living man or woman, they are not a corporation. I'm dealing with a living, breathing man or woman. Okay, so that's the first document. That's the very first thing that I have anybody sign. Okay, so and then we'll move on to from there. We can put up my attestation of domicile. We can put that one up first. And I've got the first page on this is it's a cover sheet. There's a cover sheet to this because I have this document recorded in the de facto courts, and it has an instrument number on it, which is referenced on some of the other documents, and I'll show you that later.
So, I mean, when you register it, or when you register or record it onto the public record there, I know you have to have a cover on it, you guys, and they want it to be, sealed by some type of public notary or notary public, which we use public notaries. You could have also used a notary public. I don't know what you did. And when you go there and you put that on the record, these are all probably your addendums or your exhibits behind that. Is that right?
Right. So in all likelihood, you probably won't be able to do what I did and get these documents recorded in the de facto. The de facto's caught on to what we're doing, and by their own laws, they are not allowed to not let you record, but they still will stop you from doing it, which doesn't matter. You can still do all these documents, and you can give them to your state recording secretary on your assembly, and these documents can be uploaded to the LRO, which mine are, and your state recording secretary can print you off copies and give you certified copies as needed. Okay. Now on Idaho, our recording secretaries have a certified stamp that they have that they can print off copies of your documents and give you certified copies. But anyway,
you can also go here and self-publish.
Right.
So this is also a federation recording platform it's a land recording office. So you can create an account here for free. You can upload your documents and maintain all of them yourself here for free if you want to. And Anna would encourage that you use all the recording services that you can use. Put them on all the land recording places you can.
Yeah,
record it everywhere.
When you unincorporate your business, and you're going to claim so Anna's got the 928 package. Right. And when you go through and do your 928 package, you're going to claim your business name because you're going to unregister or dissolve your corporation with the Secretary of State, the de facto people.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you're gonna record these documents in your 928 package, and you're gonna upload them to the LRO. You're gonna upload these documents so they are on public record, and you'll claim your business name in your 928 package. So it's on the public record. You own that business name, so nobody can come behind you and use the same business name that you're using. It's on the public record. You already own that name. That's yours.
Right. So you don't have to necessarily go and specific. I mean, a lot of people are trying to figure out how do we trademark it, copyright it. Well, you're publishing it.
Yeah.
And you can put it on a notice board on Bucolic as well. But you can create, I mean, if you want it to be on, on some other, there's a lot of different notice boards. I noticed that Idaho has a notice board, which is amazing on your Assembly website. So that's pretty cool.
Right.
Pretty cool. Right on that you guys did that.
So do you want me to just go through and read the attestation of domicile while it's up on the screen?
Yeah, I think read it and then go over what it means if you don't mind.
Okay. All right. So at the top, it's a document prepared by, return to Chad Robert Morgan, in care of, my address, near postal code extension, the United States of America, unincorporated. This is an attestation of domicile in the form of an affidavit and certificate of foreign status. I, Chad Morgan, acting in my unincorporated capacity as a lawful person, this 22nd day of November 2023 is when I did this. Mm-hmm. Do hereby attest to the best of my knowledge and belief under the public law of the United States of America, unincorporated, that the following matters of fact are absolutely true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. I am an American state national since the instant my zygote formed from the land and soil of Snohomish County, Washington, the United States, the unincorporated union of soil counties and states, around the 15th day of March, 1977, as a birthright Washingtonian and one of the living people. Now that date right there is a guesstimate as to 9 months prior to my born day, right? That's when my zygote was formed. When my biological mom and dad made me, okay? So that's the date that's going to go in there. All variations, diversions, and punctuations of my name, Chad Robert Morgan, all caps Chad Robert Morgan, have been lawfully, peacefully, and permanently reconveyed and domiciled upon the land and soil of Snohomish County, Washington, the United States, unincorporated. That I am functioning in the unincorporated capacity of a lawful person, American state citizen. If you're not, obviously I'm a state citizen and I'm with the government. So, but yours would say national if you're not an elected state citizen. And have established a permanent homestead upon Idaho, one of the several states comprising the United States of America, the unincorporated Federation of Land States, as one of the people. That I am not now, nor have I ever been, a U.S. citizen of the territorial United States of America, nor the municipal citizens of the United States, nor any sort of resident or individual. That I have never lived, worked, or been domiciled within the municipal district of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Philippines, or any other territory or possession of either the United States or the United States of America, nor any U.S. flagged vessel or aircraft since the day of December 18th, 1977, the day of my advent and nativity. That I do strongly object, stringently protest, and do not consent to any attempts to mischaracterize, misconstrue, misidentify, impersonate, or deem me as anything but an American. That as an American, I am now and have always been foreign, non-resident, and non-domestic with respect to both the territorial United States of America and the municipal United States. That at no time have I ever been engaged in federally privileged employment, a trade or business, or any federally connected commercial activity whatsoever since my advent and nativity. That I have never been a U.S. taxpayer, federal individual, U.S. person, or adherent of any municipal, religious order, and am a publicly declared non-taxpayer and tax prepaid American.
Nice.
That any compelled use of a social security number is under duress, as I was never eligible or not, as I was never eligible for nor required to participate in such a private pension program intended only for federal civil service workers, asylum seekers, and welfare recipients. And I mistakenly thought that it was required to work. That the Social Security number established unconscionably without consent in my name prior to my lawful majority was permanently retired effective December 18th, 1998, and that my notice of declaration of retirement is a matter of public record. So that would have been my 21st birthday.
Right.
The
because
day
on America, that's when you become the age of majority, guys.
Right. Okay. That I have made every good faith effort to declare, publish, and record my birthright status as an American, and that all such documents related to my status are to be found upon the public record at the Butte County ARCO Land Recording Office, instrument number 61317, and extensions, and upon the American LRO Land Recording Office with my LRO, my land recording number.
Right.
That I have affixed a completed W-8 form, certificate of foreign status, to this attestation, and that in order to remain valid, both documents must remain affixed to each other. Okay? That if anyone living has cause to question, dispute, or object to any part of this attestation, let them provide firsthand evidence to the contrary via written attestation in the form of an affidavit, and form without the municipal United States and form without the territorial United States of America, standing upon the land and soil of Bonneville County, Idaho, the United States of America, and under the penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America. I do attest, affirm, witness, and certify this to be complete and true. And so say I to all facts above this 22nd day of November 2023. And I have subscribed by my living hand the autograph of my lawful person in attestation, affirmation, witness, and certification of these matters of fact, I further saith not. And then I autograph it, and then it's signed, or it's recorded, the recording secretary with the international notary witness, and it's got our Idaho Land and Soil Jurisdiction seal on it. And then on the very last page, like it says in the document, this W-8 has to stay attached to the attestation of domicile. So when you do it, you've got to attach these, and once that's stapled, it has to remain as a original certified copy. These stay together at all times. Now, this W-8 document has to be filled out in blue ink. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
did you thumb seal it?
No. You can't see it here.
Yeah. But if you'll go over it, that would be great.
So the first line, you're going to put your name, your full name. My name, Chad Robert Morgan, and it's all printed. You don't do any cursive on there. But
it's upper and lowercase, right?
It's upper and lowercase.
In proper English, friends, okay? Upper and lowercase.
Yep. And then on the next box, it says U.S. taxpayer identification number. You put N.A., non-taxpayer.
Well, like for non-applicable.
N.A., non-taxpayer, blue ink. The next line down, the permanent address. So I was born on Snohomish County, Washington. So I put Snohomish County and then in parentheses, unincorporated. The line below that, Washington, which was the state I was born on. Washington, the United States, unincorporated, in parentheses. And then the next line down is my current mailing address. And so you put in care of 8574 Hit Place. The next line down, Idaho Falls, comma, Idaho, near, in brackets, 83401, in the brackets, the United States of America, unincorporated. You get that? And then on the line that says, please sign here, you check the two boxes. You just put an X on both those boxes. And then on the signature, you put your autograph with your circle C in blue. And then the date that you did it. And then underneath that, where it says signature, I put all rights reserved, without prejudice, retired. And that's all done in blue ink, and that will stay attached to your attestation of domicile. And this is the document that you're going to provide to whatever contractor you're going to do work with in lieu of a W-9, because they're going to ask you for a W-9. This is what you're going to give them in lieu of a W-9. That W-9 is full of presumptions, and you are not a U.S. citizen. You are foreign. I mean, the document is called Certificate of Foreign Status. We are foreign to their system, so that's why you're giving them this document, and it's affixed to your attestation of domicile. Okay. I will tell you, a lot of contractors and business people out there, a handful of them are going to just turn this material over to their accountants. And sometimes it'll work for you and sometimes it won't. But it's their loss. People are asking you for your service. You hold the value here. They don't. Right. They come to you looking for help. And they can play by your rules or not play with you at all. There is no crime. These are just documents to help the brainwashed people, see a different way. All right. Mm-hmm. So that's the attestation of domicile that I use. Now, the other document that they're going to ask for is a certificate of insurance. Okay. A general liability certificate of insurance. Now, and we have an awesome justice. I love our justice. He's smart. He's helped me prepare all these documents and kind of helped me wake up on how I would use them, where I would use them, and it's worked, Mm-hmm. And I stand by it. I get pretty up in people's faces. I mean, if they don't like it, fine, Go find somebody else.
Bye.
You don't. I don't need you.
You need water, brother.
I've got all the water I can handle. Water, right?
Sounds like I got the water. It's okay.
Right. So in lieu of a certificate of general liability, my justice helped me create the certificate of indemnification. And as you well know, anybody
did you send me? You didn't send me a copy of that, did you? No.
No, but I could probably hold it up right here. It's pretty easy. See that there?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll read this. And then at the bottom, it's got my byline and my autograph, and then my printed name.
Sure.
Bottom, and our beautiful peace flag. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Now, so this certificate of indemnification says a matter recorded on Butte County, Arco, Idaho, associated with deed of reconveyance and certificate of assumed names on instrument number 61317. All names under the public document are indemnified against harm or loss per private indemnity bond number. And then it's got my indemnity bond number, Washington. I was born on Washington, so that's the indemnity bond number that I use because I'm a Washingtonian. You join your
and it's going by the number for your document, for your attestation document.
Right. So the document instrument number that's referenced here is the instrument number that they can find in the de facto system to look up all these documents that are on the public record. Now, you would take this certificate of indemnification if they didn't allow you to upload or record your documents in the de facto system. What you're going to do here is reference your LRO number or your land recording number. Okay. You're going to just provide the information where they can find these documents on the public record.
Right.
So this, I'll email you a copy of this too. So
okay.
You kind of as a template, and feel free to share it.
Thank you.
All my stuff's on the public record. I don't hide any of my stuff. I'm out there for everybody. I love everyone.
Hey, this is what I was saying earlier, Chad, is that we're the Americans, but we're not hiding. No. We're not hiding. And also it is there's a confusion about being on the public and being in the private or whatever. Well, we're not in the private and in like hiding behind something private. Okay. That's not what it is. What you're calling private versus public, friends, is lawful versus legal. Okay. So when it's private, it is outside of the corporate veil. And a lot of folks, they think that when you're in the private, you're hidden. Okay. Like it's interesting. I work with farmers, right? So I have agreements with various farmers because I'm helping them. A lot of them, some of them want to sell directly and be known and have their farm be known by everyone. And then there's others who are afraid and they want me to consign for them because, let's face it, I got a big mouth and people know me. And so the USDA and the FDA and the CDC have all come for me. And so if they know I'm working with a farmer, not a lot of times, what they do is they try to go and intimidate the farmer that I'm working with. Oh, you're working with Neethi? And they will come and try to fearmonger you. So my farmers get to decide if they want to be on the X with me or if they want me to just consign for them. I mean, whatever they're comfortable doing is fine. I'm not here to tell anybody else what to do. I honor everybody's free will choice, So, but a lot of them just require education. And once they start to observe and see how the other farmers are able to operate freely, then they start to get a little more courage. They get to have a little more courage and a little more courage. And the same thing I'm hoping, Chad, as other men are observing what you're doing, they can have more courage to be able to step out in their trade and do this as well.
Right. And that's a big thing, Niti. It takes courage to stand up, especially being the first one on Idaho. I'll tell you, I was involved in politics. I never held public office in the de facto system, but I was really involved in politics. I was a corporate sponsor for the Lincoln Day banquet event here on Bonneville County. Our Bonneville County Republican chairman, he's an attorney. He owns a law firm here in town. He's a good friend of mine. I still do plumbing for him to this day.
He's a member, huh?
Yeah, he signed a private membership. He's seen it. He signed it. I've got several attorneys who have actually signed my private membership. I've had contract people who work for attorneys that go over contracts and stuff, read over my private membership agreement. And the last guy, it was just a couple months ago, we did a sewer job for a guy, and he read over it, and he looked at me and said, "Chad, I read over contracts for a living. This is genius."
Right.
He said, "This is genius."
I have more attorneys that come get their food from me than anybody else, and they know what it means when I'm holding them accountable. They know what they're getting involved with. They know that just giving me $1 is contracting with me. They don't have to sign an agreement. They know. They know if they give me $1, they did it.
There's a lot of really good people out there. There's a lot of guys out there that are attorneys that are really good. That are really good people. I mean, and they're good people. They just don't have the knowledge, and a lot of them are waking up. There's a lot of them waking up and realizing the fraud that's taken place, and they're victims. They're just as much victims to the fraud as you and I.
I mean, we're not warring with these people. That's what I was just saying with Tammy, Chad. We're not at war with anybody. We're not fighting with them. These are other living men. Our job is we're on a rescue mission. We're trying to rescue all living men from bondage. We don't sit around hating anybody.
No.
No. We love everybody. We want everyone to be free. And who are these people that don't want everybody to be free? I don't understand.
Right. Oh, and by the way, just so everybody knows, I don't pay for general liability insurance. I used to pay thousands, $5,000-$6,000 a month for a general liability policy. Guess what? This is free.
Free.
Everything that I'm sharing, that Niti and I are sharing with you guys, is free. But it requires courage. It requires for you to know who
knowledge.
And a knowledge, yeah. Ignorance is one of the most expensive things you will ever pay for. Your own ignorance will cost you more than anything. So it's high time everybody start to open up the books that we have available. Know something's wrong when the affidavit of probable cause that Anna put out. That's a great place to start.
Right. Or Anna's book. A Disclosure 101. But
that's great.
The other part of this is I want everyone to know that the definition of ignorance, because ignorance is not nescience, okay? Nescience is when you don't know something and nobody expects you to know it. Like, I am not an open heart surgeon, and so you might not want me to do open heart surgery on you. And so I can learn to be an open heart surgeon should I choose to. Okay. I can know how to do that if I choose to. I'm not particularly interested in knowing how to do that. And so I'm not doing that. And that's nescience, is I don't know how to do open heart surgery. All right. Ignorance of open heart surgery is me ignoring the truth and the fact that there is open heart surgery,
Right.
and that I can actually learn it if I want to. That's ignorance. Ignorance is we're telling you how you can do something, and you're just flat out like, that's not true. Who are these tinfoil people or whatever? That's ignorance. Ignorance is ignoring the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah. It's willful.
Yes.
You're doing it of your own free will.
And we are here to honor the free will choice of all living men.
Right. Right.
So you get what you choose, right? You get everything that you want because you're choosing it.
Right.
So you can just change your mind and choose better, right?
Yeah. I have had a few people ask about, the jurisdictional things. Most people will sign my private membership and not really pay too much attention, just so long as they know that it's free. Sure. They just want the plumbing done. But I do carry a copy of the Idaho Public Law, and I show them where they can find the Idaho Public Law, because it's a matter of public record in the de facto system. You can see the instrument number. So I do share that with people so they know where to go, that they can find the public law, right?
Did that get up there? Okay, yeah.
Right.
So this is the Idaho Assembly website, and they have a notice board on their website here. You can click on notices, and it brings you here. And so, is this the one? Let's see if it'll open up.
Right.
There we go.
That's where you can find the public law. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm on Idaho, so this is just information that we're sharing with you and the rest of the 50 assemblies out there.
Mm-hmm.
You need to make sure that your assembly has published and got on the record your public law for your state. I don't know. Have you guys done that on your state, Niti?
North Carolina is working on it.
Okay. Well, your assembly, your general assembly needs to get together and work together and get these public laws on the books so people can see them.
And you got your full chain of custody on here.
Right.
This is very important, friends. You got to have your full chain of custody. They got their receipts. They have everything recorded. It's all been lawfully done.
Yep.
This is fantastic. I just still am tickled that you guys have a notice board on your website.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard, y'all.
Well, we've been really blessed on Idaho to have some of the best people I've ever met in my life in our assembly. Dave Torres he's our coordinator, and he's become a very, very, very good friend. And Hudson Roberts is another one of our coordinators. He's young, he's smart. We've got a lot.
I'm a fan of his. He's great.
You should get Hudson on the show.
I got to get him on the show. I tell Hudson, I said, come on, yeah. Hudson.
I will.
This is fantastic. I love the website. It's real simple. It's it's just all the important. It's just a few pieces. You need a notice board, and this is on here. It's easy. And then they got their 4 pillars, and then the TASA website and their link tree. Boom, 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 boom.
Right. And I think we'll have a spot up there where we can have a links to all of our public meetings, so we don't have to send out an email to all the assembly members. They can eventually, I think they'll just be able to go to the Idaho website and call in. They'll be able to see when the meetings are, so they don't have to guess or wait for an email or have any excuse why they didn't join in the assembly meeting,
I mean, we were using a link tree and it was working great.
Yeah.
And then we have like different people doing different things. The email thing is, it really excludes a lot of participation.
Right.
When you have the link trees set up, we were putting we had meeting links on there on the top half for the different meetings. And on the bottom half, we had the Rumble channels where you could just go and watch all the replays.
Yeah.
So there was no excuse. But, we've had, all the different assemblies have different chaos going on. And so, there's that.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Look, all these people are going to get it together at some point, because
Right.
they're going to have to realize that it has to be one for all and all for one.
Right.
And it's a really, it is sort of a quantum leap. I mean, I think you can agree, Chad. We've talked about this before, that you have to raise your frequency. You have to, the people that are on a low frequency, you can't be in the same room together, because you just kind of cancel each other out. And it doesn't really work. But everybody's not going to be on this new earth, Chad.
Right. Yeah. It's
The ascension's happening,
yeah, it's Niti. I see it, and it is clear as day.
Yeah.
If you
It's clear.
You might want to consider taking some proactive steps, raising your vibration. I will tell you one thing. One of the quickest ways that you can lower your vibration is by drinking alcohol. This is true.
This is very true.
Eating
I mean,
and
eating.
drinking clean water, healthy food. I mean, and that's why I'm glad that you're talking with my wife about doing some shows about health and taking care of your body. These are huge things that have allowed my wife and I to do the things that we're doing. I've lost 160 pounds since I joined the Assembly and started working my butt off to get my vibration as high as possible,
The density that changes, and for a lot of folks, it might not be that they lose weight. It's interesting when you do these things, you might gain weight, but you change proportions.
Right.
Because if you're losing fat and gaining muscle, you get heavier.
Yeah.
If you become more formidable, you might. And that's the other interesting thing, is that the way the de facto wants us to think about weight is so dumb. I mean, it's so crazy. But like once you start to figure out all of the deception that
Right.
we have had to endure, then, this becomes really easy, because let's face it, the truth is always easier, Chad. It's so simple. And a lot of anybody who is not interested in simplifying things, that should be a red flag,
Right.
because there's no reason to be at war. There's no reason to fight. There's no reason to find a reason to hate somebody. There's no reason to be angry.
Yeah. Yeah. The truth is very simple. And everything that we're doing is very, very simple. I mean, if you're talking with people and they're spouting off all these confusing UCC codes and this and that, and everything that they're talking about is confusing, that's not American. That's
No.
not American.
It's gibberish.
Right.
It's gibberish. The stuff that we do is plain and if it makes you go, and you doing that for more than 3 seconds, it's not American.
Right. Yep. Our way is stupid simple, stupid easy, and it feels natural. It feels
It's
very
as natural as just walking up to the edge of the cliff, right, Chad, and going, whoa.
Right.
When you walk up to the edge of the cliff, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. We might want to watch our step here. Right.
A lot of people, when they want to start their own business, I mean, and I know I've talked to a million people throughout my career. A lot of people have dreams of starting their own business and doing their own thing and branching out on their own. There's no reason that the only reason they don't is because of the confusion and the complexity of the de facto system. It's meant to be confusing. It's meant to be scary. They don't want people standing on their own 2 feet. The whole system is designed to make good workers, good people who will just do what they're told, right?
Follow orders.
Yeah, follow orders. If you're good at something, by hell, you should be working for yourself. If you know how to do something, go do it. Right. The only thing that's stopping you is fear. Well, in our sandbox, there's nothing to fear. It's very easy. Go do what you love. Go create. Go do the things that God puts you on this earth to do. And don't let any man stand in your way.
Or a woman. Nope. Because you know what? People are gonna be in love with you because you're gonna be in love with what you're doing.
Right. Right.
That's the difference. If you're like, I don't have time, you're like, you don't have time to love yourself. Yeah. That's sad, right? I tell them it's sad, Chad, because I'm like, I just wanted to tell you something. They're like, I don't have time. I'm like, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad. We have a few questions here.
Yeah.
They didn't put them in all caps, but there's not too many because I think this is pretty clean and clear. I want to honor your time, and we've been at an hour. I just want to make sure you're still good. I think we can hit these real quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens when you deregulate and you have loans?
That is where you might have a little, you have obligations. So if you dissolve your corporation, you have obligations to these banks. You still, just because you want to unincorporate your business is not going to release you of any obligations from any financial institutions regarding your business. You have to honor those. I mean,
we operate in honor.
We operate in honor. You pay your bills. Now, fortunately for me, I've always been self-funded since the day I started. Years ago, I learned about Dave Ramsey. I was a big Dave Ramsey fan.
Me too.
System, and I started working my way out of debt and just did the snowball process, and I was debt free. And so when I started my business, I never took out a loan, and so I was unencumbered in that aspect right out the gate. So I didn't have to worry about that. But that's a good question. You still have obligations to those loans that you've taken out.
Right. There are things that you should know that I'll encourage. We do a sound money class, and maybe you might want to come to the sound money meeting that we do. We're going to be discussing various ways that these people the de facto does not teach you what real money is, what sound money is, and they don't teach you how to leverage your energy for good. But in the show notes, there is a link on a link tree to join my email list and also to join my Telegram channel. And I encourage you to come to the Sound Money meetings that we have and learn about that, because we can help you even with your loan. We can show you ways that you can pay these things off a whole lot faster, or how to do whatever you got to do to leverage that. And once you declare as an American, you get so many other benefits that you're earning in a more powerful way. So you would be able to pay those things off a little bit more powerfully, wouldn't you say, Chad?
Yeah. I don't think that having loans would stop you from unincorporating your business.
Nope.
It's not really going to stop you, but you still have an obligation to honor that to honor that contract. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny? This is the funny part. Chad can appreciate this, that when you unincorporate, every number they ever gave you, everything they ever assigned to you is yours. You own it. You get to use it. Like I had a nonprofit number. Okay. I could still use it. What are the criminals going to do?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Because if I'm doing business with people who still think that they're got to do taxes, they can still write the stuff off.
Right.
And you think the IRS is going to argue with the fact that they're doing something like that? Because I'll just tell everybody, hey, they're a fraud. But if you want to give them money, then,
Yeah.
if you want to participate, guess what? They're not going to know. They're not going to argue,
But I mean, if that's what you want to do, you still have the ability to contract with whoever you want, whenever you want. You are in charge, but you're also accountable for all the choices that you make. That's the big thing, is accountability. And,
right.
And you're accountable for everything that you do. And any of the information that I've shared with you today here, that Needy and I have shared, if you get in trouble, you're accountable for your own actions. Don't come to me and, hey, I didn't fill this out quite right. Why do you tell me to do this? But no, know what you're doing, learn it, love it, enjoy it, embrace it, but be accountable for your own decisions.
I also do an unincorporated meeting every Saturday, except for the first Saturday of the month when we do a physical outreach here. And there's no reason why you can't come to that meeting, show us what you did, and ask if it's right or wrong before you do something crazy.
Right.
So, like Chad's saying, you need to know what you're doing. And so if you don't know, you better ask. There's no shame in asking. And look, the business name is you. It's your name anyway. Whatever it is, it's yours. So it's the same thing. You are responsible. You have to take responsibility. Do we have any recommended changes for prior military for any of this?
I never served in the military, so that's kind of an area that I'm not really that familiar with.
I don't remember anything in your document that should be of concern.
There's some paperwork with the assemblies that you have to do as far as sending out notices of your status correction. But if you've been in the military, if you're retired and you have your DD 214 and all that, you can do everything that we're talking about here. There's nothing stopping you.
I mean, maybe on number 5 where it says, I am not now, nor have I ever been a U.S. citizen of the territorial United States of America. When you're an employee when you're in the military, then you are working for the territorial.
Yeah, and you might want to work with your justice on your state to modify the wording in the document so it's specific to you. I mean, as I was reading mine, you knew you could hear the dates. You're going to have to modify the document for your specific situation. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that was the only thing that I saw on the document. It says, like, at no time I have been engaged in federally privileged employment. Well, you were if you were in the military.
Right. So
some of these things you wouldn't say.
Yeah. You would highlight that and maybe strike that out from the document, but everything else would still apply.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see. I mean, you have to be logical.
Yeah.
And you have to know that when you were in the military, you were working, you were working for the Tories.
Right. And when you go through the 928 process, it's all like that. You have to read these documents. I mean, they are redlined for you, so you can put your specific information in there. But you want to read your 928s all the way through, read them multiple times. And if something jumps out at you as maybe not being quite correct, adjust it,
Yeah. I have an LLC renovation firm, Delaware State. How to make unincorporated, currently ASN verified. Well, you're asking a loaded question. Come to the Saturday call so we can talk about it, because all you're doing is making me want to ask you 10,000 questions. So that's where you come. You come to the Saturday call where we discuss unincorporated business, and we talk about it. So hopefully you will feel comfortable coming there. I've had other men come, and we will break down their business on the call. I don't do private conversations with anybody. We use it to educate everyone, and because why not, right? Everybody should be able to learn from that experience, whatever we're discussing, because whatever you're trying to do, other people are going to probably want to need to know that as well.
Okay, so if they're an LLC, Niti,
yeah, first we got to take care of that.
Structured as an S corp, but
say it again.
My corporation, my company was structured as an S corp, and then I think later on down the road I did do the LLC. But when you dissolve your corporation, when you dissolve that LLC, you need to notify. Obviously, you dissolve it with the Secretary of State. You also need to notify the Department of Labor on the state that you're in. And you also need to notify the State Tax Commission, because if you don't, they're going to come after you with liens, which is, I've told you in the past, they did that to me. And so that was a learning curve for me. But you need to notify all of them.
Right.
That you've dissolved your corporation and you are now operating as a private American-owned, unincorporated business.
Right.
As far as the way you function within your own business, it's no longer any of their business. Okay? You're an American. We've just provided you with documents that you can provide to people that you do business with. If they want to continue to use your services, they will.
Right.
They don't.
You have to have courage, and you're going to have to explain what you're doing a little bit more. And it's not that much of an explanation. They know what you do. You renovate, right? So you have to
do it. You no longer have to pay federal taxes, state taxes, unemployment insurance, business insurance. I'm saving probably close to $100,000 a year, just all the extortion fees I used to pay to the de facto. You guys don't have to do that. It's all just you're only paying for it because you want to, I guess.
But you know what? What's amazing with that is you can actually grow your business and support a lot more men, or you can do like Chad and be more retired, because you don't actually have to produce. You don't have to do as much business to really support yourself if you're not being extorted.
Right.
But so you get to make a choice. Like, do I want to do less work? Or do I want to provide more opportunity for more young men to learn? Because at this time of, we're at a moment of duality. So during this time of duality, as we go from the old earth to the new earth, then, it might be helpful if you're, maybe young enough and interested in helping to grow some other young men. And, everybody's in a different situation of what it is that they want to do, what they can do, how much can they commit to it. And so, whatever you can do. So he's like, got courage, will dissolve.
You operate in honor, and you will know if you're doing something wrong, because I'll tell you why. There's one factor that will tell you that you're messing up, and that's the amount in your bank account. Are you going under, or are you making money? Okay. And that is nobody's business but yours. You're an American. You're operating in the private. The only thing that you need to keep track of is, of course, you need to keep track of your customers and your accounts and your accounts payable and receivable. You're going to keep track of all that as you always have.
Right.
But you're also freeing yourself from the bondage of having to keep track of withholdings and
Receipts,
taxes and
and
receipts.
blah, and ding, and blah, all these envelopes that you have full of all the crap. That's
Right. It's going to simplify your business. It's going to cut the headache in half.
more. I think it cuts it all the way almost out, because what are you doing? In, out.
Yeah.
In, out. It's carriage accounting.
Yeah.
So now it's like it comes in and it goes out wherever it might go. Nobody's business. It's your business. And you know, they talk about you can't commingle funds. You can't do. That's none of your business. Bull crap. I don't have to maintain 10 accounts. Why can't I put it all in one account? It's my one account. Anybody who talks about commingling funds and blah, 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 it's all blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I have one person I have to answer to now that I'm an unincorporated private business. It's myself.
Right.
I have to answer. Well, my wife. My wife.
Yes.
I don't answer to anybody.
No.
I'm sovereign.
That's right. But we operate in honor. We don't cause any harm. Right. Have you ever had to make a claim on the indemnity bond, or what would that? First of all, I don't think we really do anything that really. I think you're too good of a plumber. I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. So number one, I have been operating as a plumber on Idaho since 1997. I started my corporation, my company in 2004, March of 2004. I have never had an insurance claim from the day I opened my doors. I've never had an insurance claim. Right. Now, if I were to go to a job and mess up, this document right here has the private registered indemnity bond number on it. You give that to
whoever's asking.
They can make a claim with the U.S. Treasury.
Mm-hmm.
No insurance adjuster needed. You take that and file that claim with the U.S. Treasury, and they will take care of it. Okay, I'm indemnified, and I believe our indemnity bond covers us up to, what is it, Niti? $279 trillion.
It's a ridiculous amount. Like it's an infinite amount. So right. Like, you know, we're not going to see the end of it in our lifetime if the whole planet filed a claim on it. Like it's not going to put a ding in it.
So long as you have that indemnity bond number that Anna has already issued to you, it's already available to you.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to go through the process of unincorporating your business, and you're covered. You're a private registered. That indemnity bond is far superior than any general liability insurance policy that you can buy. And
attorneys know this.
Yeah.
The attorneys know. Let me tell you what I know. Is I've been in business since 2009. Never had a claim. Right. Won't have a claim. I don't believe I will ever have a claim. I mean, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're operating in honor, I mean, if there's ever a mistake or something that I need to correct, I operate in honor and we remedy it. Okay. But I've never had any situation that required me making any, I mean, insurance it's painful and a joke. Okay. There's no reason to deal with that.
The insurance companies, here's one thing. So we did do a job one time and we had a leak underneath the sink. One of my guys was in a hurry and caused some damage to a customer's floor. And so we had to I wasn't going to file an insurance claim because, number one, when you do that, your insurance claim will probably try to get out from paying it. And if they do pay it, they're going to drop your ass like a lead weight as soon as the claim is over with anyway. Yep. So I paid the $2,500 or $3,000 to one
pennies.
of my. Yeah, I paid my buddy to go in there and fix it, and they were happy. The customer was happy. That's called operating in honor.
Right.
Get the
And
bullet.
and that's pennies compared to all the other crap. And it's something we're self-indemnified for some of these things. But if it would have been something that was $100,000 damage, I mean, that's when you're using that bond.
Right.
And that means you did something really bad.
Yeah, there was a major mess up there.
Major. And that means that somebody either lied to you or you just don't know what you're doing. And the problem with us is we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're not talking about, we don't want anybody out there trying to run their enterprise without knowledge.
Right.
We don't condone irresponsible, garbage business. Okay. You have to operate in honor, and you need to know what you're doing. So we do require people to have education and experience and, manage safety and care about the people and care. I mean, I don't really know tradesmen who don't take pride in their work. I don't think I've met that guy yet.
Right.
I haven't met that guy yet.
Just operate in honor. Always do your best, and love your neighbor. Love your customer. Treat them like you would want to be treated.
Yeah.
That's all.
You have to care. Yeah, you have to care.
Yeah.
Well, Chad, we've been going on and on for an hour and a half almost.
Right.
And I think we covered everything. We also got everybody's questions in.
Good.
And I appreciate your time so much, and I really enjoy these conversations. And I look very forward. You guys, I'm going to be, we're going to have Jamie, we're going to have Chad's wife, Jamie, on. And we're going to talk to you guys about healing and healthcare and, holistic solutions for healing yourself. That's going to start in April. And so, anybody who wants to discuss your businesses and go over this a little bit more, join me on Saturdays at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. I have an open Zoom room. If you follow me on Telegram, you'll get the link. It's better if you join the email list that I have, so you get an email. And what else? If you want to get in touch with Chad, I'll put his information in the show notes.
I want to acknowledge a few other people here if I can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because we've got a lot of people doing what you're doing with podcasts and educational platforms. I want to give a shout out to the Sheriffs on Ohio, Andrew and Adam. The Sheriffs on Ohio, their podcast is called Restore the Republic. These guys are awesome. I've been on their show a few times. They've had multiple different guests. Great education. I highly recommend, if you're not following the Sheriffs, get on there, follow their podcast. Lisa Schaefer on Ohio. She's a beautiful woman, very knowledgeable. She's the one that just had the commissioning of our first Chief Continental Marshal, Paul Pappas, and you can find her at America, Some Assembly Required. That's on YouTube. The Sheriffs are on YouTube too, by the way. And then we've got Hudson Roberts, our co-coordinator on Idaho. He's doing a podcast called The Living Man Podcast, and you can find that on YouTube as well. And then Tammy Healy's doing the American States Assemblies podcast, correct? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Tammy Healy, American States Assembly podcast. And then, of course, you have the Mop and Bucket with Michelle Ford and Grandma, or Anna Von Reitz. And, of course, Anna does her Monday night webinar every night at 7 p.m. You can find the links to join that on the TASA website, the American State Nationals Assembly.org or whatever. But yeah,
I put the Living Man's podcast link here in the chat. Chad, if you want to put your email, you can put it in. Do you see that right there where it says comments? If you look on your right hand thing, you can go to comments and you can put something in there if you want.
Comments.
Yeah, you see that?
Yeah.
While you do that, I'm going to look up the other ones. Tammy does Exit Stage Left with me. So if you look on anywhere else on this channel for the Exit Stage Left episodes, and her links are all in there, in those show notes as well. It might be on this one. I don't know if I have it here. I don't know how to find the Ohio Sheriff's one. I know I watch it, but I don't remember. I don't know how to do it on this right here because it's on my phone.
Yeah, I'm not very tech savvy here, hon.
All right. Well, what I'll do is I'll find that stuff and put them in the show notes, guys, because
you can email me at yourifplumber@gmail.com. yourifplumber@gmail.com.
Is it okay for me to paste it in the thing?
You bet.
All right. There you go. All right, friends. Thank you so much, Chad. And hey, friends, I will see you very soon. I know I've been kind of hopping around with the podcast a little bit. My life has been a little bit crazy. I've also been giving Anna a break. She did so many podcasts with me. And also, after James passed, I wanted her to really take some time and rest. And of course, she's never resting. She's doing 10 million things. And she needs to be able to give her energy to the things that she's doing right now. Right. And I know that when it's appropriate, she'll be right on back. We're in touch with each other regularly. So it's like, at this red hot second, I think where her attention is what's needed. She didn't need to be doing so many shows all the time. Her schedule was really crazy. So I wanted her to have a break. So in the meantime, I'm also kind of doing a little bit of a break, but I can't get away from calling all men and working on trying to get some of these other things going. And so we will continue to keep the word going and, help everybody get standing and get relief now, because that's what all of us really need. We need relief.
Right.
And there's just no reason that we can't help everybody do it on as many levels as possible on the way to the new earth.
That's right.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you. Work on raising your frequency. Go outside and get barefoot on the land and soil, and look up at the sky and just enjoy your day. And we will see you next time. Raise it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad.
Love you. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Love you guys too.